2026 Formula One is changing. Only this time it's even bigger. F1 cars will soon be powered by 50 electricity. The batteries will be just as important as the engine. Overtaking will no longer rely on doctors' tricks, but on energy allocation. And the drivers may be forced down to downshift at full throttle, just to keep their car alive. This is more than just a new era. It's a high-stakes experiment in redefining what an F1 car is. So what's changing and why is it so radical? And why are even some of the sport's top drivers, including Max Verstappen, genuinely concerned? Let's break it all down. Since 2014, F1 cars have been powered by hybrid units, a combination of internal combustion engine, with two electric motor generators, the MGU-K and MGU-H, but here's the thing. Electricity has always played a second fiddle. Right now, just 18% of total power comes from the hybrid system. The rest, a massive 82%, still comes from burning fuel. That's about 120 kilowatts of electrical power, versus 550 kilowatts from the engine. The electric systems helped, but they were never essential. That changes in 2026. F1 is mandating a 50-50 split between combustion and electrical power. That means both parts of the power unit, the engine and the battery system, will need to carry equal weight. The shift is not theoretical. The numbers are extreme. The engine power will drop from 550 kilowatts to just 400 kilowatts. The MGU-K will jump from 120 kilowatts to 350 kilowatts. That reduces the performance gap from combustion and the battery, from 400 horsepower to just 67. This is not an evolution. It's a structural overhaul. Why is F1 doing this? There are two big reasons. First, sustainability. F1 has pledged to be carbon neutral by 2030. It's already introduced biofuels, tighter flight emissions, and sustainable initiatives across its calendar. Second, relevance in road car world. Internal combustion is dying. The rise of EVs is reshaping how automakers think about performance, efficiency, and R&D. F1 wants to stay connected to the real world, and that means proving that electrified combustion still has a future. By going 50-50, F1 hopes to create a technical package that pushes efficiency forward, attracts new manufacturers like Ford and GM, and keeps the racing fast without going full electric. But there is a cost. In today's F1, the battery is important but not essential. If it fails, a driver can still limp home. Example in Monaco 2018. Daniel Ricciardo's MGU-K failed. Early in the race, he lost about 20 of his power. But through clever driving and Monaco's tight layout, he still won. That won't be possible in 2026. Lose your battery system in the new era, you're finished. Half of the power is gone. You won't be able to defend on the straights. It's not about speed, it's about survival. And that's the fundamental shift in the DNA of F1. To make all this work, F1 is introducing huge changes to how energy is harvested, stored and developed during a race. Let's talk about energy harvesting first. Right now, the car can only recover 2 megajoules of energy per lap. On the braking, that's being boosted to 8 and 2 megajoules. To put that into perspective, imagine trying to power a race car, using only the energy you gain from slowing down. You'd need to brake hard often and strategically. Not just to make the corner, but to recharge your battery. And with MGU being removed, the component that harvested energy from turbo's heat, the car will rely exclusively on kinetic energy. This means teams will redesign their driving strategies entirely. Expect to see new braking techniques, mid-corner region lower gears used in unusual places. Even the racing lines might change, as the drivers search for the best spots to recharge. All this came to a head in mid-2023. Max Verstappen, already a 3-time world champion, tested 2026 simulation at Monza. His feedback startling. If you go flat out on the straight, you have to downshift flat out because that's faster. That's right. In the simulation, once the battery was drained, the car couldn't maintain the speed in top gear. So the system told Verstappen to drop a gear, while he was still at full throttle, That might work in a simulator. But on a real racetrack, it's mechanical abuse. It goes against everything the drivers are trained to do, and if that becomes the standard, F1's fastest tracks could start to feel broken. The FYI took notice. Instead of electrical power just disappearing, when the battery hits zero, they've introduced a power ramp down system. Here's how it works at high-demand tracks like Spa or Monza. The power will fade at 50 kilowatts per second, so it will take 7 seconds to go from 350 kilowatts to zero. At other circuits, the fade is 100 kilowatts per second, meaning a 3.5-second drain. This gives drivers a warning time to react before the power fully cuts. It also smooths out the performance drop and removes the extreme cliff Verstappen experienced in the sim. But the problem isn't gone, it's just better hidden. Let's shift gears and talk about overtaking. Since 2011, F1 has used DRS, the drag reduction system. You push a button, flap opens. Top speed increases. It's simple and sometimes too effective. In 2026, the DRS is being scrapped. Replacing it is something brand new. The manual override. Here's how it works. If you are within a set distance of the car ahead, at the end of the lap, you get an extra battery deployment for the next lap. You can activate it at any time, anywhere on the circuit, as long as you're on full throttle. But once you activate it, your energy starts draining. And once it's gone, it is gone. So the drivers will need to think carefully. Do you use it at turn 1 to launch an attack? Or save it for the end of the lap to defend? It introduces a real tactical depth, a chess match at 350 km/h. It also could fix one of the sport's biggest complaints: predictable and boring overtakes. With all the focus on energy, the corners will feel different too, since the MGU is gone. The only way to recharge the battery is through braking and resistance, and this leads to strange behavior. Drivers may now be instructed to rev the engine in low gears, mid-corner, not to accelerate but to charge the battery, especially in slow speed sections like Monaco's lowest hairpin or Singapore's twisty Sector 3. It's like turning the engine to a power generator. As AGN reported, the prospect of the engine working hard in the middle of their lowest hairpin, it's going to take some getting used to. We may even see cars behave differently acoustically, louder in places they used to be quiet. The whole driving rhythm could change. Among all these power changes, one thing is flying under the radar: fuel. In 2026, Air France will switch to 100 sustainable fuel. This fuel will be synthetic, made from non-fossil sources like bio-waste or carbon capture. It's designed to be drop-in usable in normal combustion engines. Now, why does this matter? Because there are over 1 billion combustion cars on the road globally, and EVs can't replace them overnight. If F1 can help create a clean, scalable alternative, it could change more than just racing. It could change the world. Let's be real. New engine rules always come with pain. In 2013, the last season of the 8s, there was only 27 mechanical retirements. In 2014, the first hybrid year 54. That's double, and many of them came from the same issue. Teams simply hadn't figured the systems out yet. Expect the same in 2026. Battery cooling, brake-by-wire regeneration maps, integration failures. These are all waiting to strike. The FIA has scheduled a private Barcelona testing in January, followed by official sessions in Bahrain and Spain. But don't be surprised if Melbourne is a war of attrition. At launch, the 2026 grid will feature 4 confirmed power unit suppliers: Mercedes, Ferrari, Honda and Red Bull. Ford, Cadillac under GM will join in 2029. However, figures came out the perfect balance between combustion electricity. Aero, weight, and cooling will dominate. We saw it in 2014. Mercedes nailed the hybrid formula and crushed the field for years. It took teams like Ferrari and Red Bull a half a decade to catch up. Expect the same learning curve here. And the teams that get it wrong, they may fall into midfield abyss for years. This is not just a power unit update. It's a redefinition of how Formula One works. Electricity will be as important as combustion. Drivers will race with their feet and their fingers, adjusting region overrides, harvesting and deployment in real time. Races will be tactical, energy-based, strategically chaotic. Some fans will hate it, some fans will love it. But one thing is clear, the future of Formula One will be won and lost by what? Not just horsepower. And in 2026, the battle begins.